Hi, I'm George McClure, and this is Listen Up TV. We're here at Music Matters 2015 with one of our keynote presenters, Shawn R. Britton, Senior Mastering Engineer at Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab. Shawn, thanks for taking the time to talk with us today.
Anytime.
You've been with Mobile Fidelity for almost 30 years. Could you tell us a little bit about the history of the company and the philosophy of the company?
Let's see, Mobile Fidelity actually started back in the 60s, and the name originated because Brad Miller, our founder, actually did recordings of environmental things, storms, creeks, but he also did many recordings of trains. In fact, our early LPs were of what people use for demo material were train sounds, an incredible dynamic range, a train running across your soundstage like that. And it also upsets the neighbors, which is an added bonus. The philosophy of the company, let's see. Well, you know, we're purists, and what I think sets us apart from a lot of record companies is that we take our time in the mastering process. And whereas your normal record company is under great pressure to get an album done in a rapid amount of time, we take our time. And it's what my old boss used to call mastering by the pound. They had to get so much product out by a certain amount of time and then get their billing done. Mm-hmm. We're about the quality. It's more like a handmade piece of furniture, if you will. Mm-hmm. It's everything that we do is high quality, and it sounds it. I think that the product pretty much speaks for itself.
Well, we got to hear the demo last night, and the proof was in the pudding there. They really always sound great, and you had some great stories about dealing with the original master tapes. Can you tell us what it's like, some of the benefits and some of the challenges of working with original master tapes on classic recordings?
Oh, I can't tell you. I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, let's see. You know, most of the tapes that we get, because we're a reissue record label, are older, and therefore we're not just tape technicians playing a tape off like a flat transfer. We're tape curators as well, and I understand, as do the other engineers, that we are entrusted with something that's priceless, literally priceless. And the story that I told last night was in regards to the Frank Sinatra Songs for Swingin' Lovers. And the splices had dried out, the adhesive on the splicing tape. So each splice had to be reconstructed. And we are very, very cautious with those master tapes. And so, yes, depending on the tape type, how they've been stored, sometimes it adds, well, in the case of the Sinatra, it added weeks onto the total project to do those. And sometimes just accessing those tapes, finding them, in that case, again, sorry to refer to the same one over and over, but that it took years to find those phono reels, they're called, and then assemble a master from those takes. And because when you cut a record, it's a contiguous groove from the outer to the inner edge of the record, they had to be spliced together accordingly. And then at the end of the project, Capitol Records requested that we put the tapes back in their original condition rather than keeping them as full production masters so that they could use them in the future. They wanted them put back to or restored to their original condition, which to me was a huge waste of.
Well, so you had to undo all of that work?
It had to all be put back the way it was, but of course in better condition because I replaced all the splices in those tapes.
Not only does Mobile Fidelity do an incredible job with the music, but you guys also take great care in recreating the album covers, which for those of us of a certain age is so important to that whole experience of listening to a record. Can you tell us about that a little bit?
Sure. I like that, of a certain age. That's very well put, very diplomatic. You can say it, us old guys, yeah. Anyway, with any reissue label is going to run into this. Oftentimes, let's take the Dylan, for example. What is the one behind us? Sorry, I shouldn't look off camera. The Freewheelin' Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
The Freewheelin' Bob Dylan. You know, the original film used in those photo shoots is long gone. And in order to recreate the artwork, oftentimes we will contact collector friends, or we'll go on an internet search and purchase a mint album and then do high resolution scans. And our artists will clean things up in case there's any wear marks or anything of that sort. And we really try to have the best art you can get. Our packaging is superior. It really is. And Mobile Fidelity has a long reputation of having the rice paper sleeves on the LPs, the inner stiffeners, our jackets, you know, these gatefolds are exquisite. They really are. They're something to behold, which they should be, because it's a premium product. We charge a premium price, and they should get, every consumer, music lover, should get a premium product in their hands, and we feel it is.
Well, a lot of our customers are audiophile customers in particular. Many of them are vinyl enthusiasts. Many of them have also embraced high-resolution music files and SACD. We were talking a little bit before we started rolling here about you worked for many years on vinyl stuff, and now you've kind of moved more into the digital realm. And we were asking you about can really good digital files approximate the experience of vinyl?
Well, I think it's close. Of course, it depends on the engineer and how they approach the project. I mean, Stan Ricker, who taught me how to cut records, really was the one that put Mobile Fidelity on the map. And Stan told me that mastering is really your last chance to put a final polish on a project or ruin it completely. So I take that to mean that I can make the SACD sound quite close to the vinyl, but again, it's in your level of skill. And I don't mean to, beat my own drum, so to speak. The philosophy that we employ comes directly from Stan. We have procedures that nobody else does, and that's how we get the results that we do, is that we're all taught this same philosophy. And we're not just audiophiles and gearheads like a lot of people, we're also music lovers. So I'm sorry to go off on a tangent, but I do that. One of the things that I keep in mind when I'm working on an album is that there's somebody out there that absolutely loves that album, and I try to do the best job, as do the other engineers, possible. I mean, it's
Sure.
quite an honor to be able to do that.
Well, and it's, you can be in love with the gear, but if you don't have really great source material, it doesn't matter what you play on the gear. So we're always grateful that there's outfits like yours in particular that make such great source material that can then really give a workout to the best gear.
Well put, thanks. Yeah, it's certainly an honor, especially some of the titles that we have in our catalog are just phenomenal. We are indeed lucky, and to meet people, as you mentioned, I've been at Mofi for a long, long time, and to meet people at the shows here at Listen Up has been really fun, because invariably people will tell me, oh, I've got a bunch of Mofi product in my collection I have, and they're very excited to tell me the various records that they have. And that's a long tradition. Mofi, as we mentioned, the train records were in the 60s, but we started doing music software back in 77, I think, was our first John Clemmer. And then, of course, people became very aware of our Pink Floyds and the Beatles box set.
Sure.
And it was stores like Listen Up that really made consumers aware of Mobile Fidelity, because our stuff is used as demos in the hi-fi shops.
Well, that leads into my next question, which was we often get that question: is what's a great record or any type of recording to do as a demo? Do you have any personal favorites in the Mofi catalog, either that you've worked on or just any of them in the catalog that you think really make a great demo of equipment?
Oh, sure. Of course, a zillion come to mind, and I can't name any of them. If you like female vocals, which a lot of people do for speaker assessment for the mid-range, we have a Ricky Lee Jones, her self-titled LP.
The first,
out, and it's phenomenal. It's really great. Our Madeline Peru, those titles for female vocal. Mofi has a long history, so if you wanted to go way, way back, we have such a huge amount of stuff to choose from. And again, one of the things that we do because we're music lovers is we put out rock titles too. And sometimes you want something with some slang. You want to hear some rock and roll. I mean, to me, it's about the music. It's great to have incredible resolution, et cetera, and sort of test your system's performance, as it were. But it's about getting involved in the music emotionally. And so to that end, there's an awful lot of stuff. Our new stuff, the Brothers in Arms on 45 RPM that I was playing yesterday.
Last night, yeah.
Amazing stuff. The Grateful Dead stuff that we have right now.
Even the Dylan you played last night, the
Yeah.
harmonica on Don't Think Twice, It's All Right, the dynamic range, I'd never heard it like that before. It's really a revelation.
It is. We're so blessed to have access to these masters and to be able to work on titles like this. That Dylan, it never fails to make me emote because you can feel exactly what he's trying to convey in the music. It's so intimate. It really is like he's right there in front of you. So yeah, thanks. That's a great title. Thanks for that suggestion.
Well, Shawn, thanks so much for taking the time not only to be our keynote presenter at the Music Matters 2015, but for talking with us today. I'm George McClure, and this has been Listen Up TV.